Welcome back everyone to Trina's Eats and Treats. Today I have two very special guests at the table with me. Now normally you would see me standing up by the stove, but today we're going to sit down here and we're going to have a nice casual chat and we're going to make a delicious recipe along the way. So it's a Trina's Eat today. So as you know, a Trina's Eat is something that's either a main meal or it goes with a main meal or whatever. And today we're going to be making molasses pudding. So before we get started, we're going to do some introductions. Right here is my wonderful mom, Madeline. Say hello.
Hello.
And on this side, my wonderful dad, Lloyd. Say hello, Dad.
Hello.
So this is a real treat for me today because I usually does these by myself. And so it's a real nice treat that Mom and Dad are visiting and we're all going to do this together. Now this recipe, molasses pudding, this is a recipe that Mom has been making forever. And she usually makes it on turkey dinners, like Christmas time or whatever time of year, Thanksgiving, that you have a turkey. However, I will add that if you are making a jigs dinner and you would kind of like to spruce up your jigs dinner a little bit, you could always do this molasses pudding because it's absolutely delicious. And so what we're going to do is it might look like a lot of ingredients, but a lot of this stuff you'll already have around your house. And we're all going to work this together. And I'm going to tell you what the ingredients are. And I'm going to read them right off of here first before we get started. So for this molasses pudding, the ingredients that you're going to need are 1.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, and this is ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and you're going to need 1/4 cup of butter, not melted, just cubed like this. And you can either use the imperial cubes or you can use like real butter. It's completely up to you. You're going to need 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 egg, 1/4 cup of molasses, and 1/2 cup of milk. And Dad, at the end, he's going to do up the molasses pudding in, what do you call this, Mom?
Pudding cloth.
In a pudding cloth. And so any Newfoundlander who's watching this is going to know what a pudding cloth is. But for any of you that don't know, it's just basically a cotton cloth and you wet it and wring it out. And then this is what you're going to put your pudding in and you're going to tie it up with a string. So we're going to get going. So, Mom, the first thing I need to do is my dry ingredients, you say, right? Because I've never made this before. This is a Madeline specialty. And so I'm going to take Mom's advice on what to do and where to go with this, and we're all going to do it together. So the first thing, the dry ingredients, you say, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the dry ingredients, and you say we're going to do the dry ingredients in the small bowl. Because I got 2 size bowls, a big one and a small one. So the dry ingredients is going to the small bowl. So we're going to do 1.5 cups of flour in this small bowl. There's 1 cup. 1/2 cup. I need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Here's the baking powder, 1 teaspoon. Already got my teaspoon in it, we're ready to go. A 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. Where's the ginger? Huh? The ginger. Thank you. We've got a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. We have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon right here. We have 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Right here, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So now, Mom, I'm supposed to stir these together, right? You want to do that for me, if you don't mind? And then I'll start looking at the stuff for this ingredients, the cream stuff. So while Mom is mixing together the dry ingredients, I'm going to start on the wet ingredients. So we're going to do, now I need to put the butter in first and then the brown sugar, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the butter goes first. And that's 1/4 cup of butter. We're going to do 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Would you mind passing me the brown sugar there? Thank you very much. And I do this with the mixer before I put the egg in.
Right.
So you got to mix up these two things with your mixer a little bit before you add in your egg. So all of those other ingredients were the dry stuff that Mom mixed together. This is now the kind of the wet stuff. So I'm going to add egg in a minute. So I got to beat this up a little bit. Now, is that what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah, a little bit more.
A little bit more? Okay. And what about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got it mixed in, and as you can see, that's what it looks like. So now we're going to put in our egg. And this is 1 large egg. Okay, so now I'm going to continue on mixing this together. Now, is that supposed to look like that?
That's right.
Exactly like that. All right, perfect. So now we got the ingredients mixed together, and now I'm going to do I add the molasses and the milk to that as well now?
Just the molasses.
Just the molasses for now. This is 1/4 cup of molasses. Pass me that big spoon there if you don't mind. Yeah. It's warm here today, folks. It's one of the hottest days of the year here in Nova Scotia today. So it's quite warm here. Now, do I mix that up again with the mixer?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody who's making a turkey dinner, even if you want to dress up a Jigs dinner, try this. You'll really, really like it. Now, is that what that's supposed to look like?
Yes.
There you go, folks. See that? There is the butter, brown sugar, and egg and molasses in the bowl. Now, when does the milk go in?
You put your milk in as you're putting in your dry ingredients. Like you can stir your dry ingredients.
Yeah.
And as you're doing that, I'll add the milk to it.
Excellent. Okay.
So you go and get your milk poured.
Right. See, my mom is expert on this, not me. She has made this many, many times, and it's delicious. There you go. All right.
Which spoon do you want?
Either one. All right. So,
Wait, can I stand
yeah,
up?
absolutely. Go right ahead. So, you're going to pour in the milk for me as I'm gradually adding this. Okay. And add some more dry.
Yeah.
Oh, I just look. I wish that we had smell-o-vision, folks. This smells absolutely delicious. pour the rest of it in?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my, does that ever smell good? My, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Smells really, really good. Now, as Dad would say, I need to take charge of this, I think.
I'll look at the texture.
Okay. We got a texture check happening here.
Yeah.
Is that the texture it's supposed to be?
You need a little bit more flour.
Okay. Little bit more flour, folks. What was that? Maybe like a teaspoon? If that.
A little bit more.
Okay. So that was probably an extra tablespoon. But I'll show you how thick it is in a second here.
I'm gonna put it all in.
Okay. And I'll get some more flour now in a minute before we.
Where is your flour?
They're on right there by the sink. Oh my goodness, does this ever smell good? It is so good. I'm trying to take charge of this the best I can, Dad.
I still think you need a bit more.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to put in try a tablespoon.
Okay. So this is 2 extra tablespoons of flour, but I'll show you anyway how thick it's supposed to be. How's that?
Let's see. Yeah.
Is that good?
Pretty good, yeah.
Okay. So, just for camera purposes, as you can see, that's the texture. You can see it, I can whip it around pretty good, right? To me, it's almost like the texture of icing or something, you know? That kind of texture. So once you get to that texture, you know you're ready to go. So, now this is where Dad comes in. What you have to do is, like I say, this is a pudding bag. Cloth.
And it's wet.
And it's wet, and I wrung it out. So what you got to do now is we got to put all this.
Right, yes. Don't forget the flour.
Yes. So, watch all this unfold now, folks. So this is a pudding bag. Like I said, it's wet and wrung out. You got to put some flour on it so that it doesn't stick to the bag when it comes out of the pot. Is that good there now?
No, I'm going to fix it now.
Okay. And this is, like you say, so it doesn't stick to, the molasses pudding don't stick to the bag when you take it out of the pot.
The bag's hard to get something out.
Yeah. I know, because it's a big bag and it's this dang low.
I think this should do it.
All right, perfect. Excellent. All right, you're up. Now Dad is going to show you how to put the pudding on the bag and do it up.
Yeah.
You want me to scoop it out for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now where do I put it? Right in the middle?
Right in the middle.
I think that's as middle as I can get.
Yeah.
Alright. Give me this. It looks like peanut butter, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, there you go. I'll let you two go at it there and figure it out. Now folks, while they're doing that, I'm going to head to the kitchen and make sure that the pot is ready for it. Excellent. We need to cut off this part.
Have some of that plumbing there,
Alright, so now we're going to head to the pot. Alright everybody, so I'm back to the pot with my molasses pudding. So, as you can see, we're at the stage now where we got to put the molasses pudding in the pot to cook it. So, you're going to need to put it in boiling water, and the water has to be boiling for a full hour and 15 minutes because it takes that long for this to cook in boiling water. So, because the water is going to evaporate over the course of the hour and 15 minutes, keep adding boiling water if your pudding is not completely covered. So we're going to put this in, and Jeff is going to get a close-up. Come on in. So do you see how the water is completely covering the pudding? That's what you need to be for an hour and 15 minutes. And so you're going to tuck it in there. We're going to put this on. We're going to put the timer on for an hour and 15 minutes. And what we usually do after that is we let it rest for about 15 minutes on the counter, so when you peel away the pudding bag, all of the molasses pudding don't fall apart. So we're going to meet you back here in about an hour and 15 minutes. Actually, an hour and a half, because we're going to lay it down on the counter for the 15 minutes so it can rest before we basically cut the string off. And that's where we'll meet you back at that point, and we'll do a taste test. See you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. So as you can see, here is the finished product of the molasses pudding. So basically, we were let it boiling. We had it boiling in the pot for an hour and 15 minutes, and that's all it needed. And it's nice and spongy if you touch it, and it looks delicious. And we're going to have a taste test. And like you say, again, you can have this with your turkey dinner, and normally, I didn't say this before, but normally you would put gravy on this, right?
Mm.
And so you can, or if you wanted to, have a jig's dinner and you were having some gravy, by all means, have it with your jig's dinner. So we're going to do a little taste test. Oh, and what we did was, we let it rest. So when we took it out of the pot, you hold it up and you drain it for about 2 or 3 minutes, let the water drain off. Then you lay it on the plate. You cut the piece of string and you gently peel back your pudding bag off of the molasses pudding. Very gently so that the molasses pudding don't come off with the pudding bag. And so as you can see, Mom did a fantastic job doing that. So now we're going to cut into it and we're going to have a taste test. Oh yes.
Spongy.
Very spongy.
Bit Don't you shoot it?
Should
Starting at
salt?
the end.
Oh, start at the end? Okay. Oh, yes. Who wants this piece? I'll take this piece. Perfectly cooked. I got the wrong knife for this, I think.
I think you do too. You
I needed a sharp knife for this, and I didn't get a sharp one. There you go. Oh, look what I'm doing.
Nice.
I'm going to give you a big piece. Now, you don't have to eat all this tonight, you know.
Just cut it into the other way.
Okay. I'll tell you, we'll do half of this piece.
And when you cut this side of there.
You mean on this side?
Yeah, when you go to cut it again, it's still starting in the middle.
We'll cut this piece off here for the editor and producer over there behind the camera, Mr. Jeff Mercer. All right, everybody dig in. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, ready to go.
Oh,
Dude,
that is so good. Absolutely delicious. The molasses flavor on it. And it's not a strong molasses flavor. It's a subtle molasses flavor to give it that sweetness. I'm telling you, if you make this for yourself or your company, they're going to love it. Good?
delicious.
Like it?
Yeah.
Delicious. So, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, think about it because it'll help me out a lot. If you make this recipe, let me know in the comments. Keep the comments coming. And until next time, make someone smile today. Happy early Thanksgiving. And we'll see you on the next one. See ya. Say bye. Bye.